Welcome back, and we're going to continue with the bouncing ball. So the whole idea about animating a bouncing ball is that we can now make it bounce and roll, and this will be fairly simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and make a couple more keyframes and really make this animation dynamic. So you'll be turning in the bouncing ball, which you have here. You'll play blast it and turn it in. And we're going to go ahead and add a floor to this. Okay, and with this we'll create something that's a little longer, like that. Alright, so that'll be our floor. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and show all the controllers of the ball, and we're going to just animate this part right here. We've got all the animation for the bouncing ball here, and now what we're going to do is just going to move that back in the translate X. So we're going to type in 15 here. Okay. Actually, let's go. I think we need to be facing this way. We need to make sure X is this way, so let's go ahead and move that back. So that should be -15. There we go. So we're going to start back there. And my grid, I scaled it at, let's just type in 40 here so you guys get the same scale. And let's do something like 18 here and 18 here, so we keep it nice and even. And we click on the master control, and we're going to type in -15, and we are going to select translate X and key selected. Alright, so we're going to add some more keyframes here. So in our timeline, I'm going to type in 90. So that will make our animation from 1 to frame 90. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and move that keyframe all the way to 66. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and move that to +15. So we're going to travel, okay, roughly 30 units across, okay, at frame 66. So that works pretty good. So I'm going to right click or click on that and right click over key selected. So now you see we have this curve here on the translate X value. Okay, so we're going to have it bounce along the floor. Right. The problem with this is that we need to add more. Basically, we need to have that bring that in faster. So that needs to be faster at the beginning. Right now, it's easing in. We need to have it ease out. So right now it looks like this, and it looks very strange. It's actually gaining momentum. It shouldn't do that. So what we need to do is we need to select this. It's flat right now. We need to take this, and we don't want to move it up. Let's go Control Z back. Click on this tangent. Make sure you hit the W key and move it up. Okay, move it up to as far as it can take it. Okay. Now be careful with this. We're going to click on this one and just kind of see if it's flat. We need to make sure this is flattened, so let's go ahead and flatten that. Okay, so make sure it's selected and flatten. And this one is real good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of look at that now. There we go. So now it's kind of slowly going into it. So now you can see how it's really fast here and slows in. I'm going to zoom in and make sure it's not going above that line. See, we've got to be really careful that it does not go above that line. We'll see how it still looks. Okay. It's kind of skidding in. It's kind of acting weird. So Let's go into show none, show polygons, and let's take a really close look at this and make sure it doesn't slide back. And it is. It's sliding back just really slightly, and we can't have that. So let's select the ball, go to show all, and select that, and we need to flatten that, and that needs to be pushed back, and that's kind of that line there. So I've got to go back down here again. We've gone too far. Let me zoom in here, okay, and kind of get a better idea. Let's see if I can hit the 5. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this and move it down a little bit more. Zoom in a little bit and see if we got. That looks great. That's about as far as I can probably go with it. Okay, looks good. And so let's go ahead and take a look at that again. Start it from the beginning. That looks good. It's going back just a little bit. Okay. So I might take this guy here and move him down just a little bit. Okay, and we just don't want it sliding back. There we go. I think that's it. Okay. I'm going to flatten this. Let's do a couple things here. I still see some movement. So I'm going to take this, flatten that one out, and take this one, and we're going to make it linear. Actually, we don't want to flatten it. We want to make it linear. Okay, like that. And then we're going to flatten this guy right here and move. Select it and move it up just a little bit, okay, and see if that will work. I think we'll have that. Go ahead and play it. That looks better. Okay, look good. And we'll do it again. Select it, zoom in on it, and see how far we can push it. This gets a little crazy here. Alright, let's try that. Here we go. Much better. Slowly working its way into it. And I'm going to push that a little bit farther, just a little bit. Being very careful. There we go. Just finessing. That's it. I think that's it. That looks good. I like that. Alright, so now it looks kind of odd without the rotation, but that it's basically a ball rolling to a stop. Now it's really not rolling, but that's the next step. So once you tweak that out, it takes a little time, and you got to see how I did it, but the timing looks really good. So let's go ahead and go to show, none, show, polygons, and this way we just click off and really get to see the animation without any of the controllers. Nice. That looks really good. I like that. Okay, good. Very nice and soft at the very end. Let's go ahead and show all. Okay, now we're going to click on this again. So now we're going to click on the rotational value, which is E. So let's go back to frame 1. Okay, so this rotation will be in the Z. Okay, as you can see that. I'm going to go Control Z back. And at frame 1, we're going to have a rotational value of 0. So let's go ahead and key select that. And then at frame 66, let's go ahead and rotate forward and let's type in negative 720. Okay. Now this works out really good because I figured out the bounce, and I figured out how long and the units, and so it's basically rotating twice to a stop. So I went ahead and keyframed that, and that should work out pretty well if I timed it right. Okay, whoops. Frame 1 is at 0. Frame 66. I forgot to keyframe it. So basically we're rotating this way. So it's negative 720. I need to make sure I keyframe that though once I'm done. So highlight it and key selected. So that should give us the keyframe we need. Let's go ahead and play it. There we go. Perfect. That looks really good. Okay, so let's take a look at the animation. Show none and show polygons, and this is what we should have with our final animation. Looks really good. And so basically what I did was I combined the bouncing ball up and down. I then animated the translate X, and then I animated the rotational values. Now the beauty of animating like this is, when I show all, you notice that I was able to actually combine animations together, meaning that because I only keyframe the translate, the Y, and I did separation, I separated all those out, I was able to combine them together to create something really interesting. And so let's go ahead and move that out a little bit more, and so we can see that. So you can see all this stuff here, and hit the F key. You can zoom out. You can see all the areas that we animated, which is really cool. So I hope you liked the animation and hope you had fun doing it. Let's go to the side view. You can actually see the side view too as well if you want to. Would that be the front? Let's take a look if that's the front view. Yeah. Okay, so you can see the animation looks really well from the side view too, and if it holds up from the side view, you know it's going to hold up really good from the front view. So let's take a look at none and then show polygons. You can see it, the animation, and we can play it in real time. That looks really good. Got the squish and stretch. Right, awesome. So that looks good. So I'm going to want animation play blast from the basic side view and the perspective view when you do your so let's go ahead and bring this back to perspective. And there's a couple things we're going to talk about as we do play blast animations. I'll take you through how to create those. So we'll have two animations for two separate pieces. So you're going to turn in your bouncing ball up and down, and your animations, your play blast animations, bouncing up and down from the perspective view and then the side view or front view. And then the ball rolling to a stop, you'll do a play blast, or you'll save that as its own animation, your MA file, and then you will play blast a side view and a perspective view. So we'll do that in the next video.